I'm Anna Giles. I am an improvist here at Dad's Garage. I'm on the rookies, which is the kind of bottom of the barrel, I guess, but in a good way. It's actually a huge honor to be asked to join. And then for my money-making thing that I do, I'm a writer and sometimes actor and producer.
All right. Hi. Good job. Okay. Hi. I'm Amanda Lee Williams. I'm a general company member here at Dad's Garage, and that's like the middle level. And my other job is a therapist. Just a fun fact.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So tell us about what we're doing today and a little bit about the play.
Well, I'm brand new, so I'll tell you my perspective of it. I got asked to do this based on the recommendation of someone on the ensemble cast because she has coached me and seen me perform, and I've been an actor for like 16 years. So it was another huge honor for me to get asked to do this kind of mainstay in Atlanta, and I didn't even know what it was when I got asked to do it. I just thought it sounded, excuse me,
Getting emotional?
really, yeah, that or the weather. I just thought it sounded really cool, and I think all the plays I've ever been, almost all the plays I've ever been in, I've played multiple parts. So I, like everybody else in the show, plays, except for Scrooge, plays multiple parts. And kind of offers what we call side support and improv, but we're also all characters. And it's a traditional Christmas carol in the sense that it's scripted, and we try to stick to that script as best we can, but we have improvists that we call invaders come in as very specific characters and invade our scenes, and then we have to not only stick to the script, but also interact with these invaders.
So this is my first time in Invasion Christmas Carol. I've been with the company about 3 years, and I've done 2 other scripted shows, but one thing I love about this show is I've always either done completely scripted or completely improvised. So to have like the 2 of them together is really kind of mind-blowing and also really fun because it makes my brain work in a way that is both terrifying and kind of thrilling. So it's great.
So I know you guys each played multiple characters. How many total characters are in this production, and how many did you guys individually play? And what were they?
How many total? Boy, math is
probably
something.
Like 20 plus total.
Yeah.
And because I play 5.
Yeah, I think I play 5.
Yeah. I mean, some of them are more like what you would call the chorus type of character in a play. Like we're both carolers, so we're advancing the story but having kind of very little to do at the same time. And then we both play bigger characters. So my 2 biggest characters, for example, are Belle, Scrooge's ex-girlfriend, spoilers, and Tiny Tim.
And so I've worked on a different production of just a Christmas Carol. I would say the cast is double the size usually, at least. So we're definitely running around and sweating and being insane people backstage.
No breaks.
No, there's no relaxing backstage, but
yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that this was your first time being in this unscripted type of production as a beginning improvisationist. Kind of, how do you prepare for something like this, knowing that it's a big production because it's one of their staples as well, right?
Yeah. In terms of preparation, like I said, I didn't know how big of a deal Invasion Christmas Carol was when I agreed to do it. So I think that helped in terms of not feeling so intimidated by it. But once I started rehearsing with everybody and realizing how good everyone was and the fact that they've all worked together before. And I've been doing improv for 7 years. It's just been in other cities. I just moved to Atlanta a couple years ago. So, but it's just when you play with really good, talented comedians, it elevates you to that next level automatically. And so for me, best thing I think I can do is just get out of my head every night. We call it being in our head, and just try not to feel intimidated by the level of awesome that everybody is in this show, and just at Dad's Garage in general. I just feel really privileged that I get to play with these people, and I just try to have fun every night.
And for a production like this, I don't know if there's ever, well, I guess my first question would be, what percentage of this show would you say has improvisation in it and in relation to the scripted portions?
I would say by the time we get to previews, which we just did our first preview tonight, I would say it turns out to be about 75% at least. When we're rehearsing on the way to this preview, we begin by just doing only the script, and then little by little we start adding kind of like mini invaders where our director will just sort of pretend to sort of be an invader, but whoever they are can completely change the storyline. So we know that we have a few lines that we have to hit along the way, basically for lights, sound, and also in order for Scrooge to change his mind and not be a terrible person. So, but other than that, it can just totally be gone.
Wow. Now, is there a part of the play that you kind of cringe a little bit when you get to it because you know it's going to be some major improv in there, and then you may have to that you have to navigate?
No, I don't think so. We're excited to do the improvised portions of it because we've rehearsed the scripted portions so much that we feel pretty confident, and it's also surprisingly it takes a weight off of getting the lines out, because it's like, you know, if you mess up the lines, you can just be like, well, I was trying to cut it down for time, or I was trying to accommodate the invader. So yeah, no, I'm always waiting backstage, and we listen over the monitors to hear who the invader is, because we don't ever know who the invader is going to be before they come on stage. So
they actually lock us in the dressing room.
They lock us in the dressing room,
so we cannot know who it is, and
it's fun.
It's really fun.
It's the
it's
most
exciting.
fun I've ever had doing a show.
Yeah.
Now, do the invaders stay the same every show, or
No.
how's that work?
Different invaders every show. It's one invader throughout the show, which I think helps a lot in terms of establishing what our director calls canon for the play. So, for example, tonight our invader was a hockey player, Canadian hockey player, and he established a team name that was made up at the start of the show, and we were all kind of talking about it backstage. And I don't know if we worked it back in that much.
The London Fog,
something. We may have worked it back in once, but yeah, so we're trying to like think, okay, what's everything we know about Canadian hockey, or you know, just Canada in general. So it does take a level of I would say expertise in, you know, having to remember your lines, but also being a good improvist and saying yes and to whatever the invader throws at you. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun.
Now, would you guys consider yourselves like more actors or comedians? And if so, kind of how does being one kind of, you know, establish your perspective when you're on stage?
I think of myself, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but as an actor, because I tried stand-up comedy once, and that's what I think of as a comedian or comedian, and it is just completely a whole different thing. But even an improviser is acting, whereas a comedian, a stand-up comedian might just be themselves telling stories from their life. So that's how I think about it. I don't know about you?
No, I think of myself as the same way. I've never tried stand-up comedy, though I've always wanted to, but I think it seems really hard. I will one day try it just to make myself do it, but no, I have a degree in theater, in acting, and I've been acting a long time, and so it's just, I told myself too that going into this show, whenever I felt intimidated by how good the improvisers were, like for example, Amanda's amazing, obviously, she came up with the French idea. I don't know if I should say that for viewers at home if they're going to come to the show, but she came up with like all these beautiful characters that I'm just like, it boggles my mind that people can do that. And then Perry, the woman who plays Scrooge, like she's so witty. Like it's just like it's genius level to me. And so I told myself if I feel like I'm not as good an improviser as the other people on stage with me, I can be as good an actor. So that's really what my grounding, mantra is.
Now, since you're fairly new, and then you said you're kind of middle stage in your improvisation, like what has been the most impressive thing you've seen through this production? Like, have you been really impressed with a certain actor or something? I know you mentioned someone a moment ago.
Perry, yeah.
Yeah, Perry.
Perry's amazing. She's incredibly intelligent, so smart, so funny. Well, intelligent and smart is the same thing. She's very intelligent. She's very, funny, kind. Like, she can work in anything. When you're with her as an improviser, you feel really safe. But I also think the invaders that come in each night, that's a really scary position to be in. You don't know the play, you don't know the lines, and you're really just coming in to sort of mess everything up. And they're really relying on the rest of us to take care of them and make sure they don't get trampled by a dance or whatever. So I don't know, that's for me, those are the... And also, okay, one more. That's just the teamwork that we have. That's one thing I love about theater, but especially about improv. The level of vulnerability that we have to have on stage together in order to make this kind of thing work, it feels really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think everybody brings something different to the table too. So that's what impresses me the most. Like Perry's just so quick and witty and smart, and I mean everybody is. But like Amanda has great character work. Josh is probably one of the hardest workers, but like seemingly effortless at the same time. Clint surprises me every single show. He was Bob Cratchit in Young Scrooge. So it's just Liz is also super witty. So it's just like people really know their strengths, and they bring that to the table in a very professional way. And like Amanda said, we take care of each other, and that's my favorite part about improv is that it's built on the foundation of you have to take care of the other person on stage. You don't have a choice. So it's really beautiful.
That's why I actually I might be offending all actors out there, but I like improv the best because it's not every man for himself. Like it's really like we are a family here, just not just in the show, but at Dad's, and we are going to take care of each other. We're going to make this work and put on a show that leaves the audience feeling great. So I love that.
That's awesome. So just to kind of wrap up, kind of give me, for the person who kind of watching this and maybe kind of sitting on the fence about going to the show, kind of tell us why you think they should come out and check out the show.
I leave rehearsal or previews or show every single night with my face hurting from laughter. Not at myself, but at my fellow improvisers. Like, you will not come away from this show disappointed, and I could not say that about every single thing I've ever been in. But this show, I'm so proud of, because I just tell people to come because everybody else is so funny. It's not even about me. Like, I don't care if you come to see me or not. Just come see the show because you're gonna have fun and enjoy it.
There's also something else about this show. There's this relationship between the actors and the audience, and it's like we're all in this together. And I think, not to get too political, but our world is super divided right now. And when you come into the theater, it's like that all melts away, and it's just the audience and actors, and we're like going on this kind of magical journey together. It feels great. You leave feeling not only like you've laughed your patoochies off, but also just like we all did something together, including the audience, and it's exciting. Yeah. So it feels like you're part of something.
All right. Well, any final words you want to say, or you don't have to say anything, but
come see it.
Come see it. We love you.
We love you.
You're part of the family when you come here.
Come say hi to all of us after the show.
Yes, give us hugs.
We love that.
Yes, we love it.
Get popcorn.
And for those and for those who want to maybe follow you guys and kind of see what you're up to on a personal level.
Oh, wow.
What's your social media information where they can kind of keep track of you?
Well, I don't really do Twitter a lot. I mean, I do. Here, I'll give you my Instagram. My Instagram is @AnnaBGiles with a G.
My Instagram, that's all I ever do too, because I'm too cool for social media. Except for YouTube, which I watch all the time, and I'm not kidding. But it's Amanda Lee, AMANDALEE Bumble, like a bumblebee, but it's a Bumblee. Amanda Lee Bumblee. Pretty witty. So pretty catchy. It's just a lot of pictures of children and my improviser friends, and it's not that exciting.
It's not that exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Anna and Amanda. I appreciate your time, and good luck on the rest of the run of the series, the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.